All right, good morning, good evening, bonjour, bonsoir à tous, et bienvenue. Welcome to this week's edition of the Wada Forum. It is April 10th. The year is flying by, and we have some exciting things to talk about today. So we'll start with our opening words and then go into some community updates, especially focusing on Intersect and Cardano. Appreciate everyone taking the time to come here. We know that there's a very important meeting happening at the same time as this regarding the budget, but we'll talk about what we know about it and an opportunity to join a later session as well. And then we have a guest speaker with us today. Benji is here to talk about an opportunity that he's involved with. And just to note on the agenda here, we have it as later, but we'll have you just first up here before the community updates, as I know it's later in the evening for you. Um, so that's what we have to look forward to today. Next slide. So as always, we like sharing the knowledge base resources for Intersect, Cardano Foundation, and SingularityNet. Good places to find more information. These are kept up to date, in particular with, everything that's going on in Intersect. This document is a valuable place for information to keep you updated on the ever-changing and evolving processes. So I encourage you all to go there to find out more. All right, and just a reminder, so last week, for those of you who joined the forum, you noticed it was the first of the month, so that was more of our high impact session, the big event, first of the month. We had guest speakers of the various African DREPs. We had a panel discussion. It was live streamed on X, but then between those calls, we have more of just an internal meeting for our community only. These ones are not being broadcast on X, but are just an internal Zoom calls. So that's where we're at here today, looking for different opportunities, open discussions amongst ourselves, etc. So just a reminder of kind of our new approach in 2025. All right. Well, here is our statement of purpose, and maybe I can read the English one, and Benji, I can invite you up to read the French one. So our mission is to elevate underrepresented groups through the application of technology and invest in a more equitable future.
Notre mission, élever les groupes sous-représentés grâce à l'application de la technologie et investir dans un avenir plus équitable.
Magnificent. Thanks, Benji. You have definitely more of the French accent than what we've gotten used to with the more African French speakers here. All right. So then we'll get into a quick recap of what you missed on last session. Edufwa, are you here?
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
So last week was our monthly session, like Megan had already said. And last week we had a panel discussion. We had some of our D-reps on. It was a very good discussion. We had about 8 of them. And we discussed the African D-rep landscape, some challenges, and then some ideas towards solutions as well. We'll continue the discussions next month on the 1st of May, and that will be targeted at solutions. So watch out for that. Megan, please, back to you.
All right, thank you. And there is a recording available for those who missed it. And next month, May, first session of May, will be a follow-up to that discussion. So encourage everyone to check out the recording if you weren't there, and definitely join us for next month. But now I want to invite Benji up to the floor to talk about a project you're working on, right? And what that might mean to the WADA community.
Yes, so our project is the lead generator project. Here is also on the call Roberto from the Andamio platform. So yeah, our project, so we have some Cardano companies. For now we have Nmaker, Socius, Andamio, and Palmyra, and we need to generate leads for them. So there is a course about lead generation, business lead generation on the Andamio platform. I'm going to share the link here on the chat. So yeah, on the Andamio platform, sorry, there's the course about lead generation, and yeah, there's a great opportunity for the people that have a great network, and that will also like to get rewards for that network. They can share their leads to the companies that need it. So here on the Andamio platform, you will have all the needs of all the companies that, so the lead needs of Nmaker, Socius, Palmyra, and Andamio, and we still have more and more Cardano companies contacting us to get more leads. So yeah, it's a very good thing. And yeah, we're very happy about this project, and we think it could really go forward. So yeah, if you have any question, you can let me know, anyone in this call. And if you need explanations, I can. So the Andamio platform for now is only in pilot. So it's kind of.
I wonder, sorry, just to jump in, Benji, do you want to share your screen? Because I clicked on the link and it's sort of just the home page. So if you wanted to share and sort of show us where we should look in particular.
Yes, I can share the link, the screen, sorry. Oh, I cannot share it.
Oh, we should be able to
You are
allow
sharing. Oh, yeah,
that.
okay, yeah. Let me try now. Oh, yeah, that's it. Cool. Wait a second.
And then maybe just to slow down a bit. So lead generation. So meaning a lead like, oh, I know about this opportunity or this interest.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
kind of there's an interest for this kind of a solution in my community. That would be a lead that I might post on here.
Yeah, leads is like a type, let's say, of client that the company needs. So for example, let me show you. So here on the so that's the main page of the Andamio platform. You need to connect your wallet, etc., to be able to access to the course. So you need to go to browse course, and then you can find the course right here. I don't. Can you see my screen, everyone? Is it fine?
Yeah, no, this is much more interesting than what was on my screen. I haven't
Amazing.
connected the wallet yet, so this is good.
Yeah, so I can access the business lead generation course. So here's all the course, and so in order to start generating leads, you need to go through the course. It's kind of a learned work platform, so you need to learn before starting to participate in helping the community. So here's a general course about lead generation. How should lead generation be? And then here are the courses about the 4 companies that we're generating leads for. So for example, here Nmaker, they need, for example, companies in real estate. So if anyone has a network or knows someone in real estate in the geographic focus that they need, like all the details of the lead needs are on the course. So if anyone has a lead that could help them, they could send them the lead and get rewarded for it. So for the lead to be validated, they need to connect the company with the lead by having a call, then just share the proof that the call happened, and then people can get rewarded for it. Between, let's say, 250 and 400 ADA per lead, which can be a good opportunity. So here, if we go back to the course, so yeah, there is also, it's kind of complicated to connect the wallet to Andamio and to create an account. So here is also a guide on how to connect your wallet to Andamio and how to start accessing the courses. So it's all on the business lead generation course. So it's easier as well. And we also have the lead gen website that I'm going to also share here on the chat. And you can also register to be a lead gen here, and we can send you all the information needed. So if you have any questions, or maybe if Roberto, you want to say something about the Andamio platform, I think
of course.
That's about it.
So Andamio, like Benji said, it's a learn to work platform. The idea is to create pathways for organizations or projects to onboard contributors with verified skills and credentials. So what Andamio does is each company can basically put a project on chain. Oh, sorry, I'm getting go. Give me 1 second. Okay. Can put a project on chain, attach a treasury to the project, so lock some data, and then create a prerequisite course, which is like Benji's showing right here, where the prospective contributor earns the skills that they need to successfully contribute to a project. Once you finish a module successfully, meaning you go through a series of learning targets and lessons, and you submit an assignment, and that assignment is approved by the course owner, you will then be basically have the credentials you go to the view summary and enroll, and your access token, we call it an Andamio access token, immediately records your credentials, which makes you qualified to automatically not automatically, but you can join the project. Once you join the project, you can see what are the available tasks. You can choose one, contribute, and once that contribution is accepted, like Benji just described the two-step process from the lead generation, where you submit the lead is approved, then the meeting takes place, you provide proof of the meeting, the rewards are distributed. Something that happens is the moment that you commit to a task, those credentials, the rewards are locked in an escrow contract. So those payments are secure and transparent. The contributor, the contribution manager, that's not going to run out of funds. Those funds are locked. And if the contribution is approved, those funds are immediately unlocked and sent to your wallet. Something that's really good, we think is really good about Andamio, is that you have one token, is a dynamic NFT. So it records everything that you learn and everything that you do. So at the end of the day, you'll have a history of learned skills and proven work that you have demonstrated that you have the skills to do and that you've successfully done that work. And we want that to be sort of like the credential for the Cardano network. The projects, eventually we want the Andamio to be a network of projects and courses that are linked together. So your credentials should give you access to different projects that are looking for certain types of skills in a contributor. And the contributor can choose from a variety of different tasks and choose which tasks they want to earn the skills to contribute to, depending on, your preference of subject matter, or just rewards, or the time you have to dedicate to a course, et cetera, or your previous experience in any kind of, in anything like that. So it's in essence a portable, verified credential of what you have learned and what you've done. Yeah.
Also, I think it's important to note that as a lead generator, if you want to generate leads for EndMaker, you do not have to go through all the course and go through all the assignments of all the companies. You just need to do the foundations of lead generation course section, then sign the agreement. And then if you want to generate leads for EndMaker, you just have to make the EndMaker course and assignment, and then you can start generating leads for them. You do not have to go through all the course. So that's something important to note. So if you guys have any questions, thank you very much, Roberto, for telling us about Andamio.
When you have a question, is assessing the the various modules or the various courses free of charge, or does it come with some tuition fee? If that is, can you explain that some more, whether there are tuition fees for different courses that are available?
So they are fees for enrolling, unenrolling, I think joining a transaction. They are basically Cardano network transaction fees. We do not charge anything, especially to the student, to the learner that wants to learn or contribute. You're essentially paying Cardano transaction fees. So there are a few transactions that you do need to sign and pay for, because those are the transactions that ensure that your token is locked, that your credentials are recorded on chain, which just basically it's Web3, so it requires those kinds of fees. But yeah, so when you enroll, you need to lock your token. So you sign a transaction. When you finish a module, for example, if you finish one or you finish the entire course, when you need to unenroll for those credentials to be then recorded on your token and that token to be released so you can take it to a project and join a project. That's another transaction. When you join a project, you also, that gets recorded. So in each stage, you need to kind of take your token with you. And those are the transactions that you need. So when you join a project, you lock your token. No, you don't lock your token. You generate a transaction. And when you submit evidence of work, you also submit a transaction. When you are ready to leave the project and you want to take and you want your work credentials to be recorded because you want to move on to another project or whatever, you also need to generate another transaction. But again, these are only Cardano transaction fees. So it's a minimal amount, especially if you compare it to any other course, like if you go to Udemy or any other.
Yeah, no other. You're not going to find anywhere else with courses just for the transaction fee, right?
Basically, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, really appreciate Benji and Roberto coming to present this opportunity. Would you please just post in the chat how people can reach out to you if they have questions or need support, as they try to log in, etc. And then we'll also share the links that you shared with us here and that information in our summary follow-up. But really appreciate the presentation, and I think we need to move on to some other agenda items.
Thank you, Megan. I'm just sending the link for the Discord. In case you have any questions about using Andamio, please feel free to join and reach out.
Yeah, I'm putting here the email of Legion, the Legion project, and the link for the Discord group here. So, oh, you sent it already. Okay, great. So amazing.
Thank you. And I'm guessing you're francophone friendly, so people who need to people who need to email in French is also sure, but for support, I mean, yeah,
of course, 100%.
Yeah, thanks, Benji, and thanks, Roberto. Really appreciate you joining us. All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, feel free to stay on and listen into the exciting Wada updates, of course. No need to shoo them away.
That wasn't my intention. But yeah.
No, I know. So as I kind of alluded earlier, there was a budget kind of overview orientation process that was happening at the beginning of the call, which I think it might be the reason that some of us were trickling in late. And I see now a few more people have joined. So perhaps it's come to some kind of conclusion, or at least a point where it could be left. But I want to invite Mercy up to give us more of an overview on what's the news that we need to know about regarding the budget process for Intersect.
I'm going to quickly share a screen, just so I stay on topic. Let's see. Can we see? Let me put this into slideshow.
Yeah, we can see the steps to withdraw.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and be as brief as possible. And the reason that this is not on the slides is because this is just dropping. As Megan said, they are currently actually still having the workshop. It's going to run till about 7 p.m. But basically, as most of us know, we've been in this ecosystem for years and years. The only way that people have been funded primarily has been through Catalyst. And now, with the passing of the Constitution, the Treasury is somewhat available. So basically, this is the steps to, sort of the end of the cycle. Right now, we are in the 2025 Treasury cycle, if I should put it that way. Throughout, over the past few months, we've been talking about how it's looking like. Things are becoming a bit more definitive. There were some pivots as far as the process goes. Little by little, I think we are finding sort of the way, if I should put it that way. So currently, this is where we are in terms of the process. People are submitting proposals by the 24th. That will be the cutoff point. Please go to GovTools. If anybody has the link to drop in the chat, that would be amazing. But yeah, so right now it's almost like, budgets are being received. So from now till about the 24th, this is what is happening, sort of gathering proposals from vendors or from community members, also from the committee. So once all these budgets are submitted, as I said, from now to the 24th, you can put in a proposal, edit if you've already put in a proposal. If you're a DREP, they're doing something that they are calling soft, soft approval. So you can look at a budget on GovTool or a proposal on GovTool and decide, okay, I like this proposal, I think it should be funded. And then, you give it a thumbs up. It's not the final vote. It's just, okay, I think this is a good proposal kind of thing. And you can ask for more information if you want, or if, you can vote, as I said, the soft vote. And then later on, after the 24th, you can go back when all the edits are finished, and then, you can give it sort of your final vote, so to speak. It's a little bit, this process, this phase is a little bit like, how they would do something like reviews, or, that mentoring thing that they used to do on Catalyst. So that's sort of how it's looking like. And then from the 24th, after all the proposals is closed, sort of thing, to 4th May, there's going to be a reconciliation workshop. DREPs have a bigger say in terms of which of the proposals are actually going to make it on chain to be voted. Intersect is going to collate all those proposals that make it to the reconciliation workshop, that the DREP say, okay, we like this, or even maybe some committee members say, okay, we like these proposals. We all come together, we talk about it a bit more, and then that is what will be put together by Intersect to go on chain for a vote. This is pretty much, the various responsibilities, who is doing what. So DREPs, as we can see, I've talked about that already. Proposers need to make themselves available because the DREPs will be asking some questions over the next month or so. And then Intersect committee members are also doing their bit in terms of trying to help the DREPs look through those proposals. These are some of the dates. Today, as I said, there are some. There's currently a workshop ongoing. There will be another one at 2 a.m. UTC that is really targeted to the Eastern Hemisphere. This is this is the orientation one. On the 14th and I believe 15th, they will, it will be marketing and innovation. All those that have put proposals for marketing and innovation will be, there will be that workshop where DREPs have a chance to ask questions, both to vendors or proposers, as well as to committee members, and so on and so forth. On the 17th and 18th, will be for governance, research, and those that don't have any categories. So those three will be bundled together. And then 24th, 25th will be core. And then after that, so around this on the 24th, that is when the proposals are sort of closing. Then thereafter there will be the reconciliation workshops. So I don't want to take too much time. Let me go back. Yeah, I don't want to take too much time. We will keep reviewing this sort of week by week. Can somebody drop in the chat the link for registering?
I can do that for
yeah,
the
please.
Luma event schedule.
Exactly, so that people can.
And then just
Go
a
ahead,
comment
Megan.
I just wanted to make a comment on the Luma event schedule, and maybe Mercy, you can answer this. So I personally had some challenges joining after registering on Luma, and then was saved by you posting in the chat the proper password. But how can we do that on our own if you're not there posting the right password? Where were we supposed to get that from?
Yeah, that's a good question. It was totally none of us our fault. It was something that the organizers have realized was an issue, and it will not happen again.
So for the one at 2 a.m., you think that one will be smooth? Okay.
Yeah. But if anything, in future, that's why it's good to maybe Discord tends to be the place to be. So, like budget committee has a chat, that's where people went and they were asking, and they were being responded to. So as much as possible, if we can, let's find out what's going on in the chat, in the Discord chat. We can delegate one person. We can delegate Nana Safo to be doing that work for us. he's quite active. He's quite active in Discord. So
sure. And I plan to attend the evening one. I attended the first half of this morning one, morning for me, and realized it's really an interactive process. They were having breakout rooms and collecting feedback, therefore from everyone. It was a big call. I mean, almost 40 plus people on there, but having the breakout rooms gave everyone a chance to give feedback, and they had note takers in each of the rooms. So I do encourage, if you're a night owl, I know most people here are, that's not a friendly time zone. But if you did want to join, I'm planning to join the later one. And we will, at next week's forum, provide more insights from those of us who attended.
also, sorry, go ahead, Megan.
No, go ahead. I was going to transition us to the next point.
Oh, okay. What we will also be doing, for those that have put in proposals, we can be reviewing those as well on the call, maybe from next week as time allows. I just wanted to say that Wada has put in a proposal, a comprehensive sort of Africa-wide proposal to hear from everyone. We are hoping that all of our, our affiliated hubs, both physical and also even virtual, would have participation in that proposal. So, when you go to GovTools, look at it. If you have any feedback, either contact us or maybe put it even on there. If you're a DREP and you want to give it a soft vote, we will appreciate that as well. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll appreciate a soft yes vote. Just kidding. Give us feedback if it's a no. Why is it a no? It's good to get that out right now. I was joking, of course, but in all honesty, if it is a no vote, do put it now so we have time to address it, and because obviously we want something that's good for our community and want something that will be voted in.
Absolutely. Thank you, Megan. Back to you.
Yeah, so I want to just move us along because we're getting towards the end of the committee, sort of finalizing who's applying, et cetera. And I know this might take us some time to talk through. So I want to make sure we get to that agenda point. So before we pull the slides up, just to preface, what's going to come up is what we know so far about who is either thinking about or has already applied for which committee. So this is not kind of necessarily a WADA endorsement list. This is just something that we started a couple of weeks ago from feedback from people, and then feedback we've been accumulating through either the chats, etc. So now we have it up. Maybe people who are present, if your name is or is not on this list somewhere, and you need to add any clarifications, now would be a good time to do so. And maybe Mercy, if you wanted to speak to the WADA WADA application.
Sure. So this, as Megan has said, is still quite tentative. Welcome, Bernard. We put your name down for technical steering, but we haven't discussed that. So anyway, we thought that I think you're already doing some work, right? The developer advocate work. That's within the technical steering committee, right? So anyway, so Megan wants me to speak about the reason that WADA is technical steering as well as product committee. We had received an email that enterprise members can apply for seats. So what that means is that WADA, as an enterprise member of Intersect, can potentially apply for seats. We looked through sort of the committees, and we thought that maybe we can look at product committee and also technical steering committee. So basically what we do is that maybe we apply, we get a seat, and then we look for somebody within the network to sit on that seat. We've thought carefully about it though, because there are a lot of questions that is really not answered at this time. So we are thinking that maybe for this April round, we may step back in terms of taking a seat, see how it goes, because this is the first time that enterprise members would be, would have the opportunity to apply. But because of so many unanswered questions, we don't want to take a seat, then we are not able to commit to it because of some of the issues that we're thinking. So product committee is still open. Growth and marketing committee, we have Kate there already, so that's good. Technical steering committee would be good to have somebody there. But if we don't have anyone sort of within the network there, that's okay. Maybe in October, when there is another round of elections, we can do that. But yeah, back to you, Megan.
All
Did I
right. So
answer
yeah,
the
maybe
question?
no, I just wanted to be this is an interactive slide, so to be editing live. So we had tentatively, to summarize, we had tentatively thought about WADA proposing as an Intersect member, had kind of a discussion about it yesterday. There's not a lot of structure that we're aware of around what that means to be an enterprise member. I think I said the wrong word. And so therefore we sort of decided that this isn't a good option for the short term, but something we'll be observing and thinking about possibly for next round of elections. So if I heard you correctly, I'm sort of going to remove where WADA appears on here, but open it up to obviously the WADA community, that these are areas where we don't have anyone yet, and it looks like a good opportunity. And Seydu, I see your hand is up.
Yeah,
Go
Megan,
ahead.
thanks for that. I just want to ask on the clarification of the growth and marketing committee. Is it open or?
Oh, what do you mean open? I think I don't know of anyone. And what I'm saying is we're sharing this so that we collect information that we have missed either in the chat or from people sharing. I don't know of anyone in our community that's applied for growth and marketing, but if anyone has, let us know. Or if anyone's interested, let us know. Is that your
Right, thanks.
question?
Yeah. So it's clear for me now. It's clear for me now. I
Uh,
also don't know whether we will be discussing the weather budget submitted or not, because
so, so sorry, Sedu, you broke off a little bit.
I was asking whether today's forum we will be discussing the whether the proposal whether submitted on GovTrack.
Well, we wanted to, but I think that we wanted to prioritize this discussion, and we have about 20 minutes left. So perhaps we could reach a conclusion with this and spend the rest of the
Come back.
time going over anything in that proposal. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
And Seydou, are you applying for any committee seats? Is your name
No,
missing here? Okay.
no. This month or this season, no. How about that? This season, no, for now. And then I just wanted to comment on the weather budget or weather proposal submitted, in a sense that I would like to add it as a comment to the GAF too. So I just want to add that. That was why I was just asking for whether the floor will be discussing that today or next week.
So as Megan has said,
Wait, sorry, Mercy, before if you were going to talk about the budget, I wanted to just say something before we can transition to that.
no,
Okay.
I'm not. I'm going
Okay.
to and it's just because of the deadline, right? When it comes to the committee, Sedu, it's tomorrow. So we thought I would prioritize, as Megan has said. And because we have quite a bit of time when it comes to the budget, we thought that was something that we could do either internally or on our WhatsApp chat, or maybe even open a Google Doc or something like that. But, I'll give it to Megan. She's moderating the call. If she feels that there is enough time to go into that, maybe we can do that. But yeah, thanks for that, Sedu. Megan, back to you.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to add Heron in the chat. Oh gosh, it's too small on my screen. Did I type it right? She added she was thinking of applying for growth and marketing. If that's okay. You don't need our permission, I don't think. You're allowed to apply, of course. Does anyone have the link that we could share for sort of where to apply? Maybe we could post that in the chat. I don't have it handy. I'd have to dig a bit, but if anyone had it handy, if not, I can dig around for it. So I think our next sort of if everyone has had a chance to look at this, and I see, one person put in the chat, but no one else is putting in the chat, this seems like kind of the finalized list of where people are either applying or thinking about applying. So the next step is really, I think the issue here is the membership and community committee. So it looks like we have 4 contestants. And just to remind us why we're even doing this as a group anyways, is that when this happened last time, we had multiple people in multiple committees, and the strong feedback was we should be coordinating this better, to have, just 1 or 2 in each seat so that we're not competing with each other. So I'm just bringing that up for the membership and community committee. If there's any feedback on how us as a WADA community, how we want to either get behind a candidate or how we can support these candidates in that committee. Does anyone have any feedback? One thought, maybe I'll propose one thought that we had is to get some kind of a vote from the people here and have it available for people who want to vote later on one candidate to back as a WADA angle. Not to say that we don't support the others, but as I said, this is all just based on feedback from last time that we wanted to do something like that. So one suggestion would be voting as a group to back one of these candidates or 2 of these candidates, or leave it as is. What does everyone think? Maybe I'm just gonna cold call on people. I think Sadhu, you were someone who had brought up this concern last round. Do you have any thoughts on how to handle this situation?
Not really, not really. Okay with it.
And I just put you on the spot. You're not sure. That's fair, right? Bernard, do you have thoughts?
Greetings, everyone. Thanks, Miken. I came late and I've missed a lot.
Oh, no, it's no
I
problem.
really don't know the context, but
Oh, sure.
all
Let
what
me.
I can say, please,
Mhm.
I think you have got all my support for your effort, unless I don't want to delay others because I came late. And
Well, right now we're
yeah,
really just collecting feedback on how
yeah,
if we should do anything or how we should approach four different candidates on the same committee, and how we, I guess, make sure one of them gets elected. So one thing that was a big feedback from the last round of committee elections is that we shouldn't be competing against each other. So this
yeah,
is
yeah,
kind of an
yeah, yeah,
example of four WADA community or WADA adjacent people competing with each other.
yeah,
And
yeah.
um, I don't think it's hard to say now that we're in the situation. I don't think we want to ask anyone to step down or anything like that. But now it's a bit tricky. How do we implement what we said we wanted to do last time? So I'm kind of looking for other feedback into this of what you think is the right way forwards.
Yeah, I think from my side, whether we are in Africa or we are globally, if we can avoid competing against each other, then we will be avoiding fighting. We'll be avoiding the consequence of that might follow later. For example, I see Boz, Jeremiah, Laurentine, and Maureen there. Definitely, if one of them loses, but definitely maybe one is going to win or two or whatever, then those that lose might have a feeling that they were deceived, they're misled, they are not liked, or whatever, which is not the case. And again, maybe from the outside communities, they might feel like, all right, what do you call it, more like a closed, inclusive organization. It mustn't appear like that. But we all know the Japanese will vote for the Japanese. And it will always, you will always see the votes pattern that there is certain groups that are going to dominate, definitely. But to avoid, feelings, people are people. When they lose, they get emotional sometimes. I like we are discussing it before. And then also part of the discussion should be, okay, if you lose, doesn't mean we don't like you or whatever. And if you are not what, that doesn't mean we are not going to vote for you or whatever. But the intention is you would be happy to see a lot of representative people across different areas, and it will strengthen the organizations. I think that is how I feel now. When people apply, yes, like on the catalyst, but always have that gap. That people who vote there, you cannot prove who voted, who didn't vote. So if it doesn't come out the way you want, for example, let's say Post comes out a winner, we should all accept it. If we go out with good intention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that is what I can say.
Yeah,
I don't know.
some wise
Okay.
words. Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's a
thank you.
tricky situation, and you're exactly right. We don't want to be competing with each other, but also you know, in the end, there is always some kind of a competition, right? But Sadhu, I think you had unmuted again. Maybe you had something else to say. Sadhu, are you still with us?
Yes, all right. I'm still around. Yes, just wanted to comment on these 4 people that we have. What I would say is that let's see how best we can let these people talk to each other based on the time allocation, or explain the rules to them that probably we could just allow 1 or 2 people to run for this seat rather than we giving them 4. The 4 is something that we should have to look onto. If it were 2, I think it would have been better. But they have to speak to each other, necessarily not being what that did in that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the takeaway here is that we should probably just leave it, you know, from this call perspective, from a water perspective. As I said earlier, I don't think we want to force anyone to step down or anything like that, but maybe encouraging Boaz, Jeremiah, Laurentine, and Maureen, none of whom are here, of course. So we'll have to reach out to them separately, I guess, to maybe think about coordinating amongst themselves. And then from a WADA perspective, I think at the end of the day, what we'll be able to share in terms of our publicity would just be sharing which candidates are part of our community, I think. And if it is the case that it stays as 4, I think we'll support all 4 of them. But maybe that can come up another time if it changes between now and next meeting, for example, we can discuss. Mercy, did you want to add any closing thoughts to this discussion?
To this particular one, not at this point. I totally agree with the sentiment that Bernard shared, that maybe they should talk amongst themselves. We will likely not be able to support more than 2. We will look at the candidates that are most likely to win. And when we say support, you know, we've clarified this in the past in the sense that we'll use our social media to say that, you know, these are individuals that we know, they've proven themselves, please support them. So it's just publicity wise. So yeah, I think that for now, that is what it will be. Yeah.
And then I wanted to highlight something that's in the chat. So for anyone who's not seen the chat, Abdul Rahman mentions that I would love if WADA can come up with an evaluation framework that's transparent and each individual knows if they're qualified to be supported by WADA. I think that's a good point. It's something we sort of tried to get feedback on earlier on. And then at the end of the day, I think we reach a blocker a bit in the sense of wanting to come up with some kind of evaluation, but wanting feedback also from the community on what should be included in the evaluation. But then if there's not feedback, feeling a bit hesitant about putting forward an evaluation criteria that might be perceived as too much of a top-down approach, where our philosophy is more of a ground up approach. So just wanted to mention maybe here that would be great. And we'd love also feedback from you all in terms of what kind of criteria should be included.
So these 4 people that have put their names out, you know, so I think the issue right now is the membership and community, right? These are people that, you know, they are all within the the community. Maybe another way that we can look at it is that if all 4 of them, you know, so first of all, like Bernard said, they need to talk amongst themselves. If they are not able to do that, then perhaps maybe from a wider perspective, it could become difficult for us to support any one of them. That's also another option that we can look at. But I totally agree with Abdurrahman that we need to figure out some kind of evaluation criteria. I mean, we've been talking about this since January. It's unfortunate that we couldn't really settle on criteria. Obviously, as Megan is saying, we don't want something that it's like WADA is saying, you know, thou shalt almost. But I mean, we need to figure out a way. All right, thanks.
And I can also see that all of them are ZREFs. This is putting the situation more tough.
Yeah.
In terms of having them to talk to each other, I'm not sure any of them is even on the call right now, so they probably might not even get the message. So maybe can we let somebody here to coordinate a meeting among them to decide on whether each of them is ready to step down for anyone to do that? And do we even have time? I learned the close of nominations is tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes.
And then I guess we can leave it at that for now. Let's see how it goes. And let WADA channel the support for the other where we have just one people or one each
Well,
person.
and I think Nana Safo brings up in the chat that maybe these people aren't interested in the WADA approach, and that's something we also need to be sensitive about.
Exactly.
So I think a gentle encouragement of this is kind of more of this was feedback from the forum. Do with it what you want, I think is the approach here. Not anything else, but feedback from the forum is it might be, and if I can summarize and people can correct me if this is the wrong summary, but feedback from the forum is it might be challenging for any of you to get elected when you're competing with each other and representing kind of the African region. And that's based on what happened last time. It's not kind of just a speculation. It's based on what happened last time. And it might be more beneficial to reduce to just 2 of you. That's kind of the feedback I've been hearing. All right, Bernard, I do see your hand is up. We've got about 2 minutes, and I personally have a cutoff at the end of the call. So just wanted to maybe give, Herring put her hand up. So maybe just a chance for, since you haven't spoken yet, Herring, for you to jump on really quick before we close out.
So just a quick one. I was maybe thinking if the 4 candidates were around, maybe they could have divided themselves because I can see product committee. Maybe if some would be interested, then they could divide themselves into two. Some remain at the membership, and 2 of them go to product committee. Because I think there is no time even for them to sit to get themselves into a meeting, all of them. Before the time, because I think the deadline is just there. Yeah, or just trying to suggest that if it can work.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point too. I think what I would like to do is close out these slides, and then for people who are able to remain, we can remain. I apologize. I have a busy day today, so I'm gonna have to hop off. Does anyone know if the budget workshop is still ongoing? I just realized that it's set for 3 hours, and I had thought it was 2. Nana Safo, do you still have your head in that room as well?
I'm already there. We are still there. It's ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah, we can, and by the way, thank you very much, Heron, for that feedback. We can give Bernard the last take. I really wanted us to discuss the budget, Edu. You know, like you had requested. if there is any chance, I mean, next week we will repeat. And then if, you know, I've sent you some kind of a group chat message as to how we can go about that. But yeah, I think we can wrap it up. Bernard, do you want to give us the, and I'm taking over because Megan needs to leave. So Bernard, take it away.
Thank you. Just a short one. I have been playing the role of a developer advocate globally to support developer experience across Cardano communities. So every time you have got a meeting, whether I'm here or I'm not here, and there are developers and they really need support, I'm always available. We have got daily sessions that are running on 3 time zones. So that is all what I just need to let everyone know about that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Bernard. Alrighty. So thank you everyone for joining. This has been a very engaging discussion. By next week, it would have closed in terms of the committee applications, but that is when it will be time to vote. So we probably still have a little bit of a chance to talk about how we support the candidates that we decide to support. So yeah, in terms of publicity. So yeah, thank you everyone. Let's meet again next week. Bye bye.